Hello, thank you for watching. In this video, we're going to learn to use painterly brushstrokes. Mix a bunch of paint on your palette and then load your paintbrush up with the paint and apply it to the canvas. You want to be able to see each brushstroke. You want each brushstroke to be thick, and you want to see some gaps in between the brushstrokes so that the underpainting will show. Mix a little white to your background color so that you can have some variety in the background with different colors of brushstrokes. When you get to the edge of the circle, paint right up to the circle. Even if you paint a little bit on the circle, you can fix that later. I'm also going to paint the table with thick, painterly brushstrokes. As you can see, some of the brushstrokes are slightly darker than other brushstrokes. Some of them are lighter. I'm not too worried about getting a little paint on the circle. As I said before, we can fix that later. All right, now after we finish painting the table, we're going to move on to the core shadow, and we're going to mix black, blue, and a tiny bit of white, and we're going to make sure that these thick painterly brushstrokes curve around the sphere. After I've painted the core shadow, I'm going to mix a little white and a little blue with the same color of the core shadow, and I'm going to use that to paint the terminator, which is where the shadow starts to blend into the light. So I'm going to smear where those two colors come together. Next, I'm going to mix the halftones by mixing white with the same color as the terminator. I'm going to smear the halftones and the terminator together where they meet, and I'm also going to allow the halftone strokes to overlap some of the terminator strokes, just so I can continue to keep my brush strokes loose and painterly. Now I'm going to mix white with the halftone color to make the center light color, and I'm going to leave some gaps in between my brush strokes so that you'll still be able to see the underpainting, and you'll be able to see each one of the brush strokes for the center light. I'm going to smear some of the edges together of the center light and the halftones. I'm also going to overlap some of the center light strokes over the halftone strokes. Now I'm going to paint the reflected light. The reflected light is slightly darker than the color of the table. I'm going to blend the reflected light into the core shadow and allow the brush strokes to overlap a little bit. Now I'm just going to touch up my sphere by making sure that all parts of light and shadow transition smoothly, and I'm going to deepen the darkest part of my core shadow. The last thing I'm going to do is paint the cast shadow, once again using thick painterly brush strokes. I'm going to make sure that the edges of the cast shadow are smeared slightly into the color of the rest of the table. Okay, thank you for watching.